So I got this. When you start throwing the words like circumference at me, I don't know. What's an easy yet decadent dish that reaches the sky? Betty Crocker's answer? Cheese souffle. I'm Melinda and I'm cooking my way through Betty Crocker's 1971 recipe card library. Today we're making a cheese souffle for 4, which is from section H, entertaining on a shoestring, card number 1. I'm excited. I've never tried a souffle before, and from what I can understand from like film and TV, anytime someone tries to make a souffle, the plot point is kind of like it doesn't go well. Like they're really finicky, they don't rise, or they deflate really fast. So I'm not feeling confident here. I think I have maybe a 50-50 chance that this will turn out the way that it's intended to. But that's the fun, right? That's kind of the drama of it, you know? This is kind of a luxury item that we don't really see too often anymore. Like it was a bit of a fad in the 20th century, so I'm excited to give it a try. I think it'll be kind of a fun experience, but whether or not it goes well, I'm not sure. So if you're watching this because you want to learn how to make a cheese souffle, that's not what you're gonna get out of this video. But we're gonna give it a try and we'll see what happens. So let's get started. Our first step is to heat the oven to 350. Our second step is to butter a 4-cup souffle dish or 1-quart casserole. I went on Amazon and I bought a 4-cup souffle dish, and look how tiny it is. This is supposed to be a dinner for 4 in this tiny dish. I don't know about that. I guess it is gonna rise, but it seems small, right? It seems pretty small. I'm gonna take some butter and we're just gonna butter the inside of this teeny tiny 4-cup souffle dish. Make sure it gets into like all the nooks and crannies. We don't want the souffle to stick in there. Now it says to make a 4-inch band of triple thickness aluminum foil 2 inches longer than the circumference of the dish. So I got this. When you start throwing the words like circumference at me, I don't know. 4 inches, I don't know what that is. Let me just fold this in half. What about that? Half of it is quadruple thick and half of it is half thick. We're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that. Okay, we have to butter the inside of it. Buttering. I'm not taking any chances here. I want this to be the most buttered thing I've ever done on this channel. Now that the entire interior of the tinfoil is buttered, we're gonna put it inside the pan, even though I buttered the inside of the casserole already. That looks okay. Okay. Okay, now that our vessel's prepared, let's start making kind of our bechamel sauce base. All right, we're gonna start making our bechamel by melting some butter in this saucepan. It's a 1/4 cup of butter, and then we wait. All right, now that our butter's melted, we're gonna add our flour, 1/4 cup of flour, and our salt, ground mustard, and cayenne pepper. And then we're just gonna whisk that until a roux comes together. Now I'm gonna turn off the heat and slowly pour in the milk while I whisk. Now we're gonna turn the heat back on, and we're gonna heat that to boiling. And the flour will kind of hydrate in the milk and create a nice thick creamy bechamel sauce. Okay, now that we have a nice thick sauce, ooh mama, we're gonna add in our cup of shredded cheddar cheese. if I should use a whisk for this or a spoon, but I'm just gonna keep whisking. Just want that cheese to kind of melt in and integrate. And now you have a cheese sauce. Incredible. Let's go make our meringue. Now we're gonna beat our 3 egg whites and our cream of tartar until we beat egg whites and cream of tartar until stiff but not dry. I've never heard that before. I know how to like get it to a stiff peak, but what's it mean to be dry? That I don't know. Let's whisk. So I'm gonna transfer this to a separate bowl, and then we're gonna do the same thing where we have to whip the egg yolks and get that kind of nice and creamy. Oh, look at this cloud. Cloud of egg, cloud of egg. Okay, now we're gonna whip the egg yolks until they're very thick and lemon colored. Here we go again. I think the problem is that there's not like a lot of substance in the bowl, and so it's not really hitting the beater very well. So now we're gonna add our cheese, which has kind of cooled and clumped into a dough-like substance, into our egg mixture. That is a weird, kind of mix that together, fold it in, get it well combined. Should I have tempered it as I did that? Probably. Didn't say to, it's fine. Now, here's the moment of truth. We're gonna stir about 1/4 of the egg whites into the cheese mixture. Now, we have to do this carefully because you don't wanna break the bubble structure that has happened in the egg whites. You wanna try to keep that so that it lifts the souffle. I think that's about 1/4. Do a little bit more. And so I think that's why we're doing this kind of slowly, a little bit of it at a time. We're trying to combine a very thick base with a very light meringue. You also don't want to cook the egg with the hot bechamel base. Now that that's combined, it says to gently fold the remaining egg whites in. Do I really want to do all of the remaining egg whites? I guess so. I guess that's what it says. Slowly folding. Slowly, gently. See, I'm just kind of scraping the outside of the bowl and then like letting it flop over itself. I think we did it. I don't see any more big pockets of white. We have to stay zen. We can't scare the souffle. Now we're gonna take our dish and very gently pour it into our tube of foil. It has kind of filled up to the top of here, so I'm very curious to see how much more it'll rise within the tin foil, but that was enough for the 4 cups of souffle dish. Okay, I'm actually feeling kind of good about this. We'll see what happens in the oven, but... Okay, this is gonna go in the oven for 50 to 60 minutes, and I'm not gonna open the oven door or it might deflate. So it's just gonna go in there, do your best, we'll see what happens, okay? In a world of fast casual restaurants and weekly meal prepping, does anyone still eat a souffle? Julia Child called it the epitome and triumph of the art of French cooking, and it's a tough dish to master as it requires oven space, a watchful eye, and cannot be made in advance. The souffle earns its name from the French word souffler, which means to puff. Soufflés are made with a cream sauce or bechamel as the base, folded into egg whites and beaten into a soft peak. The base provides the flavor and the egg whites provide the lift or puffiness of the dish. The earliest mention of a souffle was in a 1742 cookbook by a French chef named Vincent La Chapelle, but it was perfected in the mid-1800s by Marie Antoine Carmen. As the upper class began to own more updated oven technology that was heated by air drafts rather than coal, the new even cooking temperature allowed soufflés to rise and stay risen. It therefore quickly became popular with the wealthy. The popularity of soufflés grew even further with fine dining in the early 1900s through the mid-20th century. The hottest restaurants in New York City, like the Biltmore, the Waldorf Astoria, and the Hotel Astor, served both dessert and savory soufflés. Eventually, soufflés fell out of favor in modern fine dining cuisine because they required dedicated oven space, making it hard to execute under a typical dinner service. Let's see if we can rise to the occasion today. All right, our soufflé is out of the oven. It's the moment of truth. We're gonna release the tin foil and see what it looks like. I can already tell from the top that it's like puffy, but starting to recede. So we have to act fast. Ooh, come on, baby. Loosen up, loosen up. Okay, what if I go like this? Okay, there's some stickage onto the foil. Come on, come on. Oh, shoot. It's stuck to the foil. Ah! And then it unpuffed. I mean, it fits in the dish. Ow. But it was definitely taller before I took it out of the foil. It was like up to here. Oh, so rude. Okay, let's have a bite. Okay, so it says to serve this immediately while it's still puffy, but isn't it gonna be really hot? I don't know. Oh, I'm scared. It's eggier than I thought it would be. I understand that it's basically eggs, but you know how I feel about eggs. But maybe it'll be tasty. I mean, it's got cheese in it, and I like cheese. Okay, let's just dig in. Let's just get in there. I will say, oh, it's steaming. This is the puffiest thing I've made so far. Every time I try to make pâte à choux pastry, it doesn't puff right. So maybe I should call this a successful puff. Even though I wish it was taller. I wish it was coming out of the souffle dish like it is on the card. Oh well. Maybe I should have let it cook more? I don't know. Hot. That's pretty good. It reminds me of, like, have you ever made like, my family makes this at Christmas time, like a breakfast casserole where you put like chunks of day-old bread and then you put like eggs over it and then you bake it in the oven. That's exactly the texture of this. It does have like structural integrity, but then it also melts in your mouth. It's got the perfect amount of flavor. It's a little hint of cheese, but not super cheesy. I can get that kick of cayenne right at the back of my throat, which I like. Yeah, it's pretty good. Hey, it's pretty good. I could definitely see this maybe serving 2 people, 3 people. If you took a big scoop out and plated it with like other side dishes and things. 4 seems like a stretch. It's interesting, like the bottom got really brown, but then the top was just barely brown. So it's like, is it undercooked? Is it overcooked? I'm disappointed that it didn't stay puffed, but it still tastes pretty good. So maybe this is what's supposed to happen. I don't know. Yum. All right, this was pretty tasty. I'm impressed. I don't know. I think I kind of went into this thinking it was gonna fail because, you know, culturally and societally, I've been taught that soufflés are really difficult, but I think I kind of did a pretty good job. I do wish that it stayed kind of risen outside of the soufflé dish like you see on the front of the photo. So maybe I have to dock it a point for not staying risen, but it tastes really great and wasn't too difficult to make, only used a few simple ingredients. So I call that a win. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 red spoons. Okay, back in the box. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, I've made savory things with meringue before, so check out my puffed turkey sandwiches next. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and until next time, happy homemaking.